Hello and welcome back to Ask a Health Educator. I'm Samantha and this week I'm answering a question from Angela, who's 14 years old. And Angela asked, what are some kitchen safety tips? Angela, I love this question, especially with all the holidays coming up. We know people are going to be spending a lot of time in the kitchen. So please keep in mind your environmental hazards and be aware of what around you might be dangerous to you. Some things that you want to look out for might be hot pots and pans. It's a good idea to always have the handles of the pots and pans turned so that they're not hanging off of the edge of the counter. We wouldn't want somebody to walk by and hit them, knock down, a pot of boiling water and cause an injury to somebody, or for anyone to get caught on it, something like that. Crowding can be very dangerous in the kitchen as well. Try to keep the kitchen as open as you possibly can keep it. Nobody who doesn't need to be in the kitchen should be in there. You've probably heard your mom or dad say that before. Being barefoot. Being barefoot is not usually something that we think about when we think of the kitchen, but that could be very, very dangerous to us. If anything were to fall, we wouldn't want it to injure our feet. So try to always keep your feet covered. You don't want a knife or anything hot to then fall and cause an injury to you. Loose-fitting clothing is another major hazard in the kitchen. Although it makes for very cute holiday outfits, it doesn't mix the best in the kitchen. So try to have your loose-fitting sleeves rolled up, or wear something that's a little bit tighter so that you're not dangling your clothes over an open flame or catching onto something and causing it to knock down. Lack of a fire extinguisher can be another major hazard in the kitchen. You always want to have a fire extinguisher nearby. Every home should at least have one, especially during the holiday season when we see a lot of fires happening, especially related to kitchen things. Improper cooking and holding temperatures are another hazard in the kitchen, so you want to always cook your meats and your poultry to the proper cooking temperature. And there's also something called a holding temperature, which means you have to not only cook the meat so it reaches that temperature, you have to hold it at that temperature for a certain amount of time. So try to read the recipes and make sure that you check with a meat thermometer how hot your food has gotten. And then lastly, of course, wash your hands. We don't want anybody with unclean hands in the kitchen. Wash your hands before you handle food, wash your hands after you handle food, wash your hands before you eat, and we say it all the time and we can't say it enough. So I hope that keeping in mind these hazards will help you to have a safe and enjoyable holiday season and a happy Thanksgiving.